Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and for this indie comic review I'll be covering Gargoyles Halloween Special Issue 1 and Robotech Rick Hunter Issue 2. I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be covering in the review. So the first one I'll be covering in the review is the Halloween Special. And first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to have a look around the beginning, or have a look around at the art around the beginning, middle and of course the end. And then whilst doing that, we'll also check out what's happening story-wise with the characters. And then moving into the art rating, and then finally moving into the story rating. So as the story begins, we have Nashville wanting to celebrate Halloween in Manhattan, of course, or New York City. And they have a bit of a talk about it, and they've already made a bit of a start on what they want to wear costume-wise. As they want to celebrate trick or treat. As we start to jump towards the middle of the story, we end up encountering a group of human supremacists against the Gargoyles, who have noticed that they are in disguises, whilst they're wearing disguises of their own. And last but not least, towards the very end of the story, once all is finished, said and done, and also preparing for the next issue, for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Moving into the area of the story, first things first, do we get anything addressing time-wise? To which we do. We have October 31st, 1997, as to when the story takes place. The location, of course, playing in New York. The cast of characters consisting of Nashville, the other characters, I think Manhattan, whoever the other ones are. We do get to see Goliath. There's someone by the name of Mr. Castaway, and also Careless Joe, or Careless Jones, who is a female character in her appearance. But for the overall story rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the Robotech Rick Hunter. So as we start to move into Robotech Rick Hunter issue 2, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. My goodness, already reading through the first issue, and we're being given what we're getting, even from the cover. And I want to give a big thanks and shout out to Titan Comics for them putting out this series, because I'm seriously thinking of picking up... actually, I think I'll leave it for the end with this part of the review. So I need to move into the area of the internal art, which I'll do right now, as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end. So as we sort of jump in the area of the beginning, we get a bit of an intro as to what's actually happening here. This is not like showing the art or anything, but it's just giving us, the reader, some important information about the events that are taking place in this book, and also what has carried over from the first book. Another good thing which I really like that they've done here is that they've also given us the character bio, so we know which character is speaking to which character, and we also make a start into the actual story. Absolutely incredible. We start to meet up with some of the villains in relation to the story. we return to the heroes of the story, and we learn of Macross Island, and not only that, Australia is also mentioned a couple of times within the story. We get to see a little bit of a discussion between characters. If this was an animated series, I'd probably watch it. Just saying. Even if it was just a few episodes. Or OVAs. Really nicely done here with the art. I feel like I'm getting what I'm paying for. And last but not least, towards the end, and I want to say once again, big huge thanks to Titan Comics. This is something that you put in the back of the first one, and ever since reading the first one, I am now interested in picking up these titles, especially the archive stuff. Right, that's where I'd want to start first, and then move into this stuff. So for the internal art, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. So first things first, do we get anything addressing the time as to when this is taking place? No, we don't. Next is the area of location, or locations that take place in the story. We have the Macross Island, which relates back like to the really early stuff. We have Australia, which is mentioned by name but not seen. We also have the Mercurian Sea land, or the Mercurian Sea Island. The cast of characters consisting of Captain Henry Glover, Rick Hunter, of course, and of course the cast of characters that was shown earlier in the story. Lisa Hayes, Rick Hunter, Ray Fokker. That's right, you got a Fokker in, spelled F-O-K-K-E-R. Vince Grant and Anatoly. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 7.5 out of 10. I must admit, this series is actually wanting to get me into more mecha. And personally, in the area of mecha, if you were to ask me about it, say, a couple of years ago, I probably wouldn't have shown a lot of interest in it, because I would only have so many mecha interest IPs that I would sort of like. That has since changed from watching some Gundam related movies. Now thinking of watching the Robotech stuff that's on Crunchyroll, including the stuff involving Macross, and I want to actually get the box set, or the Blu-ray box set, in regards to the Robotech. There's been other mech related stuff that I've sort of watched, SSS, Dynazenon, which I have watched, reviewed, didn't quite like that much, but it did have its own type of story in it. Then there was SSS Gridman, or 4S Gridman, which I really liked. And I'm thinking I might go back and rewatch Dynazenon. There's the Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, which I need to get to check out. As you can see, it's sort of refanned the flames of something that I only sort of liked in the area of mecha, or mecha-based stories. Evangelion will probably be one of my favorites in regards to mecha-based stories. It still is. That's if you could consider it a mecha-based story. But apart from that, I give this story a rating of 7.5 out of 10. And on the topic of mecha-based stories, what are your favorite mecha-based stories? I'll leave with that question at the end of this video. Until then, let's keep it colorful and have yourself an awesome day.